Good morning, everyone. Imagine this every single day. Your body is performing thousands of miracles. Your heart beats 100,000 times. Your lungs draw in more than 20,000 breaths. Your cells repair, rebuild, and rejuvenate, all without you thinking about it. But there's something else happening quietly, almost invisibly. A process that begins in your 30s, accelerates in your 40s, and affects nearly everyone by the time they reach their 50s. It's called muscle loss. Now, we don't often talk about it. It doesn't make headlines. But the truth is, losing muscle doesn't just mean losing strength. It means losing resilience, vitality, and even the ability of your body to defend itself against disease. Muscle is not just about motion. It's a hidden organ of metabolism, immunity, and longevity. The good news, and this is where science gives us real hope, is that muscle loss is not inevitable. We can stop it, slow it, and in many cases reverse it. And the solution doesn't come from a supplement bottle or the latest internet trend. It comes from the very thing you hold in your hands every day, your food. You've probably heard about chia seeds. They've become a symbol of healthy living. And yes, they're rich in omega-3s fiber and antioxidants. But today, I want to show you something even more powerful. A food that doesn't just maintain health, it activates your body's natural ability to preserve and build muscle, outperforming chia seeds in ways you might never have imagined. This is not about diet fads or quick fixes. This is about harnessing the body's own intelligence, the same biological systems that fight disease, regenerate tissue, and keep you strong, and giving them what they need to thrive. So stay with me, because by the end of this talk, you'll see how the right food can not only stop muscle loss, but actually reignite your body's potential for strength, vitality, and longevity from the inside out. You know, there's something most people don't realize. We often think about health as something we can see. The number on the scale, the way our clothes fit, the image in the mirror. But what we can't see is sometimes what's hurting us the most. And one of those silent threats, one that creeps in slowly, quietly, and without warning, is something called muscle loss. Now, I'm not talking about bodybuilders or athletes here. I'm talking about you, me, everyone, every single person in this room, because muscle loss doesn't care about how many birthdays you've had, how busy your schedule is, or how much you wish you could turn back the clock. It's a natural process that starts earlier than most of us think, usually in our 30s. And if we don't pay attention, it begins to shape the quality of our lives in ways we never expected. See, we live in a culture that celebrates looking healthy more than being healthy. We chase trends, we buy supplements, we count calories, and we follow whatever's popular online. But while we're doing all that, something much more important can start slipping away the strength that sustains us. Because when muscle begins to fade, energy fades. When strength fades, independence fades. And when independence fades, the freedom to live life fully begins to crumble. Muscle isn't just tissue. It's your foundation. It's the engine that keeps your body burning fuel, maintaining balance, protecting your joints, keeping your metabolism alive. It's what lets you pick up your child, climb the stairs, carry the groceries, stand up from the floor. It's what gives you vitality. Without it, even the simplest things start feeling heavy. You might not notice it at first. One day, you realize the bag of groceries feels heavier than it used to. You find yourself avoiding the stairs because the elevator feels easier. Maybe you skip that evening walk because you're too tired, not realizing your body is quietly telling you, I'm losing what keeps me strong. That's how muscle loss works. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't strike overnight. It sneaks in year by year as we trade movement for convenience and nourishment for comfort. And here's the truth, your body is always adapting. It's always listening to how you live. If you move, it says, I need strength. If you feed it right, it says, I can rebuild. But if you stop challenging it, stop nourishing it, it says, I guess I'm not needed anymore. That's why people reach their 40s, 50s, 60s, and suddenly they feel older than they are. It's not the years that make them weak. It's the neglect. And the tragedy is that most don't even realize it's happening until it's too late, until they fall, until they get sick, until they wake up one day and can't do what used to come so easily. But I came to tell you, you don't have to let that happen, because the body God gave you was designed with renewal built in. You were designed to rebuild, to regenerate, to restore. Your muscles were made to respond to what you do and what you feed them. They're waiting for you to give them what they need. Science tells us that maintaining muscle mass is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health and longevity. People with more muscle, not more fat, not more supplements, not more trends, live longer, recover faster, and stay more resilient. Muscle keeps your blood sugar stable, supports your immune system, and protects your heart. In fact, losing muscle too quickly is one of the first warning signs that something deeper in your body isn't right. But there's also something spiritual about this, because losing strength on the outside often mirrors what's happening on the inside. When we stop feeding our spirit, we weaken. When we stop feeding our purpose, we fade. And when we stop taking care of the vessel that carries our mission, we limit the very impact we were created to have. So the question becomes, what are you feeding, weakness or strength? Because whatever you feed grows. You can feed fatigue by ignoring what your body needs, or you can feed vitality by giving it what it was made for: movement, nourishment, rest, and care. Let me make this plain. Muscle loss isn't just about getting older. It's about getting inactive. It's about the slow surrender of movement. You don't stop moving because you age because you stop moving. Every step you take, every time you lift, every time you challenge your body to work, you're sending a message. I still need this strength. And the body listens. It responds. It says, all right, let's keep going. Now, I'm not saying you have to live in the gym or lift heavy weights every day. No, I'm talking about consistent, intentional activity that honors your design. Walk, stretch. Use your body the way it was created to move. Because motion is medicine. Every time you move, you tell your body to stay alive, to stay young, to stay strong. And let's talk about nourishment, because muscle doesn't build itself. It needs fuel, real fuel, not just calories, but quality. Protein, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, the raw materials that your body uses to repair and grow. We live in a world where food has become entertainment, not medicine. But food was meant to be more than flavor. It was meant to be fuel for your life's purpose. When you eat with intention, when you choose foods that restore and strengthen, you're not just feeding your body, you're feeding your destiny. Because how can you run your race if you don't have strength in your stride? How can you serve others if you don't have energy in your body? You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't live fully from a weakened vessel. I want you to understand something powerful. Stopping muscle loss is not about vanity. It's about vitality. It's about reclaiming the strength that lets you do what matters most. It's about being present, capable, and confident in the life you've been given. And the good news, the hope that science and faith both agree on, is that your body is capable of renewal at any age. The same way your spirit can be revived, your muscles can be rebuilt. You can wake up that dormant strength that's been waiting beneath the surface. You can turn decline into resilience, weakness into endurance, fatigue into energy. But it starts with awareness. It starts with realizing that your body is not disposable. It's divine design. It's a partner in your purpose. And when you treat it with honor, when you feed it, move it, and respect it, it rewards you with strength, longevity, and vitality that no supplement or trend can ever replace. So before we talk about the food that outperforms chia seeds, before we get into what science says about nutrition, I want you to remember this truth. Your strength matters. It's not just about living longer. It's about living stronger, because a long life without strength is survival, but a strong life, that's significance. And that's why we must stop muscle loss, not just to look better, but to live better, to serve better, to fulfill our purpose with power, energy, and endurance. Because when you strengthen your body, you strengthen your capacity to live the life you were created for. So don't wait for weakness to remind you of what you could have done. Decide today to fight for your strength, to honor your health, and to reclaim the power that's been inside you all along. Would you like me to move next into key point 20, why chia seeds aren't enough? Continuing in this same passionate Tony Evans tone that blends conviction, storytelling, and revelation, attach search study voice. Chat GPT can make mistakes. Check important